I thought we'd just do a little bit of wandering around today. I have no real plan for this video, so I have no idea what I'm gonna call it. But that's okay. Okay, check out, this is my mint. I had this mint here for, gosh, 5 years maybe now. I just love how it smells when I walk past it. And when it starts kind of dying back, I just go through and I rip it all up. And of course it's mint, so there's always going to be some of it left over, and it comes back. It's kind of a way for me to control it so it doesn't go absolutely bonkers. And that seems to be working pretty well, but it's starting to flower. And the bees love it. These are my hydrangeas here, and they're just barely starting to bloom. I don't know what this variety is called, but they get a very big, large white blossom. They're just starting to go, but they'll get a lot bigger than that. You check out this tunnel here. It's a little cat tunnel. My cats love going in there. It's been so absolutely hot and extremely dry. We went with almost over a month of rain. We finally got some rain, but then it's been dry again. So my hydrangea blossoms looked beautiful at the beginning, but they dried up really quick compared to previous years because of how dry it's been. I have been watering everything, but to kind of keep things going. But this is my little food forest area I'm working on. Everything's still very small. Got several mulberry bushes I haven't told y'all about yet. This one's gotten quite tall and leggy. In fact, I probably, when it's time, I'll cut it back a little bit so I can have it bush out more. I got my pear tree over here, which again is a little ragged. I need to prune it. And this is a little tiny mulberry bush. I've got 2 more over here. 2 plum trees, an apple back there. This is my sad strawberry patch, y'all. It's supposed to look like a sunwheel, but it needs a little bit of work. I had a deer come through here and pretty much eat all of the leaves. So I've had to keep this ugly deer netting on top of it. I think eventually what I want to do is put a cute little white picket fence around it, and then it will be kind of easy for me to just cover it every evening to keep that deer off of them, because she loves them. Now these particular spots, right here I have the mulberry bushes, and right here, these are called Nanking cherry trees. I've always wanted to put something in these 2 areas, but they really only get partial sun. So I looked up and I found that mulberry bushes and these Nanking cherry trees can do pretty well in partial sun. Of course, they're not going to put out as much fruit as they would in full sun, but we'll still get some fruit off of them, and they're doing really well. Each one of these should get pretty large. Like, they can get up, from what I was reading, but we'll see what happens in person, to like 8 feet tall and wide. So this section should fill out pretty well. And below it, this is called a Carolina pineberry. I got these specifically because they're supposed to do well in shade. And from what I've heard is that a lot of people will grow them underneath trees in the shade. Now, I don't think these particular berries are as sweet as a strawberry. They look like a strawberry, but they're white. You see here? They're not putting any berries out yet. I just put them out a few months back. So my goal with this area is to just basically really fill it out to the point where I don't really have grass, except maybe, you know, walkways with grass to get here and there. But since this is our main area that has sun, I want to fill it out and grow as much food as possible. I have a couple new apple trees that I got this year too. Sadly, this one just crumped. I'm not quite sure why. I did get this one from Stark Brothers, so they should replace it, but I apparently have to go through this process where, of course, I need to send pictures and do some type of scratch test, I guess, to prove that it is dead. But my 2 other ones, I got 4 from Stark Brothers. They're all dwarfs. This one's doing really well. This is a pink lady. I have a green apple over there. The reason we have them covered like this is because of the deer. She will eat the leaves off these trees. And check this out. This is my blueberry area. We have 17 blueberry bushes here. Kind of a variety. I have 2 different varieties here. I don't remember what they are, but they are delicious, except what's been happening is it's been so dry that the berries kind of dried up. Even with me trying to keep things watered, it's just been absolutely ridiculous. Let me see if I can find a plump one, because some of these have been just drying out. You see how they've just been shriveling? They obviously don't taste as good when they're all shriveled up. Let's see, this one's still plump though. See, that one's pretty good. Not as sweet as it could be. I need to get my sprinkler out here and water everything again. But I think this area will fill out nicely. And down here, I do have strawberries here. But sadly, that deer kind of massacred a lot of them. I was looking at them the other day and I was like, where did they all go? I do see one here. I'll look up what variety this is because I really did like it. Over here in my main strawberry patch, I have Sweet Charlie, and I haven't really been happy with that one. They're not as vigorous as I'd like them to be, and they're not as sweet. They get quite large, but this new variety I went ahead and mixed in with them is a bit on the smaller side, but they're much sweeter. I think we're pretty much done with the strawberries. I see they've really grown back since that deer has taken out their foliage. These little guys is getting eaten up. You see that? Creepy little crawlies. You know what's interesting about strawberries? The red part of the strawberry is not the fruit. If you look closely at those little specks that look like seeds, they're not seeds. In fact, that's the real fruit. And inside of those little fruits, there are seeds. Kinda neat, huh? So the only way a strawberry can cross-pollinate is through seeds. See your strawberries putting out their little tentacles, as I call them, and they branch out. You see this one's done that, like this. And they start rooting down. Now in that case, it will be true to its original plant, but they can cross from seed, because within those little teeny fruits, there are seeds there. I found that quite fascinating. Hi, Trigo. He hasn't been outside with me for quite a while because it's been so hot. He'd rather be up on the porch. But check this out. These are my banana trees. And y'all, I thought they were not gonna come back. I thought they were dead. This particular one said that it could handle my environment. I'm in zone 8. I think I'm supposed to be in zone 8B now. I don't know. But it was supposed to be okay and handle our winters here. Well, it took forever to come back, you guys. I thought for sure it was just not coming back. Kriegel, he wants to get scratches from you guys. He's gonna knock you over though. But randomly, I started seeing little banana shoots come up. I was like, oh my gosh, they're coming back. Now the problem has been, it has been so dry, and banana trees love their water. They have been stagnant, not growing at all until finally we got some good rain and they started to grow. So what I've been doing is I've been dragging the hose out here and just giving them a good deep watering every few days. And that seems to be making it so that they want to finally grow. But at this point, I still don't know if they're gonna grow big enough in time, but we'll see. I don't know how long it takes for a banana tree to start producing fruit. I do understand their cycle, how they grow very tall pretty quickly, and then they die off, fall over, right? And then eventually, through their root systems, they grow more bananas. And each year, more and more banana trees will pop up, and you'll end up with this nice grove of banana trees. So what I'm gonna have to do, you see this massive fig tree here? We've got tons of figs growing. Look at all these. all over. But it has gotten huge. So what Nate and I plan on doing is cutting it quite a bit back. Right now it's gotten so wide. I mean, fig trees can get absolutely massive. So I want to kind of prune this guy back so it's not taking up the whole yard. And I want to give these banana trees more room. So yeah, eventually, you guys, I'm going to have a food forest, just food everywhere as much as possible. And I think in some of these empty spots, I'll put a hydrangea here and there for some color. And I have random vines growing here. I have no idea what this one is. These ones here are gourds, and I know why they're here is because we painted some gourds out here for fun on a table, and I ended up dumping out a bunch of gourd seeds, and they've been popping up everywhere. So I've got them kind of growing throughout here, you see? And I thought I might as well let them go, because I like how it looks. I'll just kind of fill out this area here. There's another little mulberry right here, see? Now these mulberry bushes are also dwarfs, so they shouldn't get too tall, except those ones in the back. Those are not dwarfs. I'm gonna have to keep those in check. So, y'all, these grapes are absolutely delicious. They're so good. So, I've had some damage from those darn Japanese beetles. They're so terrible. Don't you hate those? But Nathan has helped me here and knock them off into a bucket. And we've been able to keep them under control. In fact, I haven't really seen any anymore. But guess what we discovered? I've been telling you for a while how... Hello, chicken. I have a chicken out. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, why I have a chicken out. That these grapes are Vanessa's, which is a table grape, which that one there that I was eating is a Vanessa grape. But the people that sold these grapes to me must have made a mistake. There's another chicken out over there. God damn it. I swear to God. Why are all their chickens out? I've got chickens out everywhere. What on earth? Why are you guys all out? This, I don't know what to think about this, and I don't know why they're all out. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a pause on this video and get all these chickens back inside. We've been having some issues. Oh boy. And I just put out some seeds too, you guys. Why is the gate open? The gate's open. Who opened the gate? This is the downside of having a chicken run around your garden here. Although this has never happened before. I'm gonna get to that in a second. So these grapes, y'all, this one is a Vanessa that I was just eating from. These other three are not. The person that gave me, that I bought these grapes from, I can't remember who it was, made a mistake. These grapes must be some type of variety for making wine from, because they are not sweet. They've got a lot of seeds in them. I'm trying to think how I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to have to kind of corral them, open the gate and corral them back in. All my hard work. I'll be right back. I'm going to get these chickens inside and we'll continue. I had to let Morrow out. She's going to help me. She's gotten a lot better at just pinning them down without hurting them. So she's going to help me because I need help. I feel. It's okay, Trigo. You're a good boy. Good girl. I got her. I think I have one left out. Maro's been a huge help. Well, what's been happening though is my cat Trigo, he doesn't like Maro going after the chickens, and he starts attacking Maro. Kind of cool. Trigo is a really good cat. He'll go after foxes, and so will Mr. B. Maro, I think we have one left out. I left the door out over here, and once I let Maro out, a lot of the chickens started running back into the back run here. So, yeah, I see I got one left. This is a nightmare. I swear. I just put out some seeds too, and they're starting to sprout. It happens, doesn't it? This, though, has never happened before. Okay, you're the last one. Oh, no. Maro's chasing down the other one. You get that one for me, baby? Alright, now one to go. It's okay, Trigo. I know you're stressed out, baby. Trigo, you're such a good boy. You are. Thanks for being a good boy. You're protective. Okay, so... oh boy. Maro, thank you. She has calmed down a lot since she's gotten older. And I need to go through here and fix things. I was going to show you my white scallop squashes and how good they've been doing. And they got trampled. So, I have a little cleanup to do. Been having a lot of crazy stuff happen lately. Sometimes things seem to happen in waves, you know. All that door issue, that could have been avoided. In fact, honestly, I think that was my fault. I threw some rinds out. I'm all sweaty now. Watermelon rinds last night to the chickens. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to fix that door. Sometimes it wants to get stuck. Gosh darn it. Hard not to be really mad at myself right now. Well, so we've been having a fox come around, y'all. It's been a loud fox. Very bold. It will even come around when it's light out. And I even heard it doing its little challenging call like at 9 o'clock in the morning. And it's loud when you hear it. I don't know if you've ever heard a fox before, but I was able to get a little bit on film for you. What I've been having issues with is my younger hens that I just got, my Isa Browns, have been thinking it's a good idea to roost in these grapes. The problem with that is when they jump down for the morning, some of them end up in the garden. Now the garden isn't 100% fox-proof, y'all. The runs are, the garden isn't. So what we've been having is that we've been having the fox come in, and if I have a chicken out, he'll kill it. And I've lost quite a few chickens that way. So Nate's been going around trying to make sure that the garden itself is secure. And I've also been making sure to kind of get it at night, corral the chickens all the way to the chicken coop door so that they're all going in at night and I don't have any of these chickens getting up here. But that's one of the reasons why we have these here, is because we know the fox has been jumping the gate. And Nathan also did concrete down low here. This fox is very determined. Oh, guys. Oh. I just put out some more spaghetti squash seeds yesterday. Literally. I'm sure they're all eaten. And I had a bunch of sunflower seeds that were starting to sprout. Well, that is just maddening, isn't it? Sometimes gardening can be downright frustrating and discouraging. Anyway, besides that, things have been going pretty well. Oh, hello. It's a little assassin bug here. They're beneficial, but you don't want to touch them because they will sting you. And I've heard it hurts quite a bit. And it's one of those leaf-footed bugs. And they scare the bejesus out of me. Look, right there. Hate squishing them. Jeez, they scare me. There's another one right here. I've been seeing them. They keep wanting to go on this squash. Oh, where'd you go? On me. There it goes. As far as pests go, it's been going really well. The only ones that have been really frustrating for me is when the pickle worms have been absolutely terrible this year. They've taken out several of my spaghetti squashes. They really like those spaghetti squashes. But luckily, I've been able to keep the vine going pretty well. This isn't one of the better ones. I'll show you a good one that's really, I've got a couple that are really have been taking off. Because last year I was digging up my spaghetti squash because of the vine borers, but this mess. Oh, let's flop you back over here, if we can. This here is one of the spaghetti squashes that's doing great. Get up here on the ladder here. Now, so there's a little lady squash beetle up here. I've got more fruit growing, quite a bit of it. But I gotta keep an eye on it because those pickle worms will get into the actual flower and I can still kill them at that phase. And I've also experimented. I've got another little one right here. Even if I have a squash that has a pickle worm in it, pickle worms have to come out for air, right? So when they do, I just pull them out. And as long as that pickle worm's new, oh, there's that leaf-footed bug. He flew over here. I hate those ones, I really do. They freak me out. Anyway. So as long as I can pull that pickle worm out, there's a spider on me. Shoo. Found that that hole where the pickle worm was in heals up and closes up just fine, and then I'm able to save that fruit. And I did that with one of my spaghetti squashes. In fact, we just recently ate it and it's really delicious. And I saved seeds from that one, and that's when yesterday I put out those seeds because I want to see if it's true to seed, because I still have some time. I still have some time to have those develop before our first frost in November, to see if that for sure is of a spaghetti squash or if it crossed with something. Okay, I gotta get my goats out real quick. Hey girls, you ready to come out for the morning? Come on. Hey. morning. Good morning. Look at all that crazy commotion. Oh my. Oh. Come on, girls. Come on, silly girl. I'm coming. You know what's funny is they like to eat dried leaves, which I think is kind of funny. Hi. You see these gourds have just taken off like crazy. This has definitely been the area where I would say there's most pests, those squash bugs. But I've been able to stay on top of it and it hasn't really been that big of a deal because I'm not allowing them to make more babies. You guys are getting scratches. You're like scratching against that fence, huh? It feels nice. I'll be back in a little bit with some hay. Their kennel situation right now is temporary. We have a little structure that Nathan put together that I need to finish staining, and we'll be moving it out there. That way the goats have a nice big area they can go in to have shelter if it's like storming, and also where we can lock them up safely at night because we have a lot of predators out here. I am sad about those sunflower seeds. So you know what I've been doing? Since I had so many of my plants just get sick, my tomatoes get sick and die, from the healthy tomato plants that have done well, I went ahead and took a bunch of suckers from those. Because you know, if you take a sucker from a tomato like that, you put it in water and it will make another plant. So I've been doing that. I made several. Kind of got trampled here. This is one of the ones that I got some seeds from, you see. It's doing really good. It still gets blight here and there, but it's resisting it. You know, it keeps growing anyway, and I'm still getting a lot of fruit off of it. In fact, I need to come up here and tie some of this up. So I have a couple from them, and I went ahead and just recently, I put them in pots once they finally rooted.
Then I'm gonna... Yeah, I saw that one falling.
Was that a whole tree?
No, it's a branch came off one of the dead ashes back by the king.
Jeez Louise. Some roots here. See that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and transfer them in here. I'll just keep them on the porch so they stay in the shade while they're getting adjusted. And I planted them out. And I also went ahead and bought several, I think 12, was it 12? No, 16 I think, 16 more plants that are supposed to be resistant to disease. One's a beefsteak and one's just your classic, I would say, slicing tomato. I found them at my local grocery store and they were on sale for like $4 for 6. So I got quite a few of those, went ahead and planted them out, and they're doing really good. And since I have such a long growing season, this eggplant got knocked down. That's the downside of having marrow through here. Whew. Man, crazy. What I'll have to do tonight is I'll just come out here and put out more seeds. I honestly just took sunflower seeds from the mix that I feed my birds. It's just cheaper that way, and I put those out and wanted to see if I can get some sunflowers, because my first set of sunflowers I put out here just did not do good. My neighbor was telling me her sunflowers just didn't do good this year either. I don't know what's going on. So here's another one of my spaghetti squashes that's doing really well. And it honestly has gotten quite a few vine borers. Found that removing them and wrapping them with that vet wrap has been huge, and they stay perfectly healthy. Because last year, and I think I started saying this but then got distracted, at this time I had to rip up all my spaghetti squashes because they died from the vine borers. But this year they're still going. This is another one here. Squash beetle. Mixed in with some beans here. I've been kind of, in fact, my basket's over there. I try to bring my basket here every day and just pick the beans when they're still nice and small. Okay, this is a good one here. I've noticed, you know, bugs come in waves. And right now I am definitely having a lady squash beetle wave right now. But as long as I stay on top of it, it's really not that much of an issue. And so, over there, I noticed there was a leaf that had some larvae that just hatched. So I'm gonna go get that in a minute here. But look at this. This is a paprika pepper, and it's doing phenomenal. A few down this row, and this is one that I've saved seeds from. This would be its third generation in my garden, I guess, because I had such an issue with doing peppers that are not so hot. My hot peppers always do really good, like my Carolina Reapers, habaneros, ghost peppers, Tabasco. The stuff that's not as hot, they just haven't done as well, and I'm not quite sure why. I haven't figured it out yet. So I went ahead and just started saving seeds from the ones that did well, and that's what I have here now, is this guy. Kind of twist this through here, is doing really well. And I'll continue to save seeds from them. As long as it's in an area where it's around other paprikas, I try to kind of keep the paprikas together. Right here, I can see there's lady squash beetle larvae. Just gonna take the whole leaf off. Gosh, I have feathers all over the garden. This plant, I don't know what it is. So I had an extra squash plant that I didn't know what to do with. I had no room for it. So I was like, I'll just put it here, see what happens. Holy moly, I don't know what this thing is, but it is going berserker. See, Morrow ran over this section. Yeah. I haven't been seeing any fruit yet on it though, but it's going all the way over here, y'all. And it's climbing up here. It's even climbing over there. And it's coming all the way around here, which, you see, got a little moved here, and I'm gonna let it just keep going. My suspicion is that this is a cinnamon squash, the one that Lily's bunny planted. In fact, that cinnamon squash is doing so good. It's very resistant to vine borers. In fact, I haven't found any vine borers in it, and also pickleworms. I had maybe found 2 pickleworms, and that has been it. But it's been doing great. So this one's coming out. I'm just gonna kind of let it go, and I'm gonna let it climb up here, see? So these 2 arches, I had that plant that I planted out and thinking it was a spaghetti squash. Well, it turned out, since I collected seeds from spaghetti squash last year, it ended up being a cross. So some of the seeds I collected were true, and they were spaghetti squashes. Then there were a few others that crossed with something. I'm thinking an Odessa, which is kind of like a zucchini, and then a summer type squash, like a straight neck. And so they were climbing. They actually were climbing quite a bit, but the problem was with them is they were extremely susceptible to vine borers and pickleworms. They just loved them, and I was just kind of sick of it, so I went ahead and just ripped them up, and I pretty much ripped all of them up. I think I have one more over here, and I planted out more stuff, which looks like this side's all right, but it looks like The chickens went after the stuff over here. But you see, I have some sunflowers popping up here. This one. And you see, right here, there is a vine borer right in there. In fact, I'm probably going to just rip this one up today. See that frass coming out? So, first 2 years I did a garden out here, I had issues with some powdery mildew. Haven't been having any except this year. Look at this. Even my squashes that are supposed to be highly resistant, like my Long Island cheese, has been getting it a little bit. It's just been a very strange year. It's been very hot, very humid, but also dry. We haven't really been getting any rain. So anytime I see that particular plant, I'm just going to be ripping it up because I don't want to deal with it. I'd rather just put a spaghetti squash there in its place. But I've just been removing any leaf that I see that has that, and then allowing new fresh leaves to come through. See, this is the cinnamon squash. You can probably see it better on the other side here. And it's been putting out quite a few. Just kind of letting it go at this point. You see how it's coming down? I'll just kind of guide it along here, this row. I've got more paprikas. The peppers are great. They just keep going and going and going until the frost. In fact, I can even push it by putting the sprinkler on. I did this last year and it was kind of fun. I did it by accident actually, but this year I'm going to do it on purpose. If I let the sprinkler on during our first frost and just let it go for the night, it covers my garden in ice, which protects it. Now the only plants that can handle that are peppers. The marigolds did just fine. And of course any brassicas or anything that I might have out at the time. But the tomatoes didn't like it, squash, not so much. But the peppers did just fine and they kept going, and that's the way I was able to get a little bit more time out of these peppers. Hi cats. Look at you guys out in the garden today with me. Oh, you gonna get all mad? Normally you two get along. What's the dealio? Yeah, see here? Got some of that powdery mildew on this one. It's another one I need to take out because it gets pickle worms just too much. I'm sick of dealing with it. You see right here? Get it right into these fruits. There's a little hole and there's frass coming out there and there's a little pickle worm if we opened it up. Not everybody has pickle worms. It's really a southern thing. The squash is large enough, I can just do this, remove the pickle worm from the actual flower. Where are you? Oh, there you are. You're so tiny. Very tiny. You're not gonna be able to see that, you guys. It's tiny in there, very tiny. I see some eggs right here. 2 little specks. Those are the pickle worm eggs. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and rip this one up today too. This one and the other one are the last 2 that I have. Because the other stuff that I have are pretty resistant, except the spaghetti squash. I just need to keep on it because I love spaghetti squash. One of the things I really do like about growing vertically with my squash is that I'm able to see so much easier than if they were just on the ground. You know, when they're on the ground, it's so much harder to find those vine borers, to see if you have vine borers, and to see if you have pests. So, tripped on a rock there. Yeah, things are doing pretty good. I just definitely am disappointed that I lost so many tomatoes from sick, but happy that I have some that are still hanging on and I can save seeds from them. And then I have this other little batch coming through over here. Let me show you what they look like. So I've got I've got them dispersed throughout any area that's kind of bare. I want it to fill out, and I think they'll do good. This row's been doing well. This eggplant here, this is one of the ones I'll be saving seeds from. I know I got, yeah, here's a couple eggplants down there. Hello, my hens. You all stressed out? Where's Willow? They'll lay an egg in there on the floor. In fact, just recently, y'all, a few days ago, I went in there to check, picked up the egg, went to put it in the egg box, and there was a massive rat snake in there. Had an egg in its throat. There it is.
Yeah, he's so fat.
He's big. He's been eating our eggs. This is the first time we've ever had a snake in
How
here.
did he get in?
What kind is that?
That's a rat snake.
And I don't...
There's an egg on the floor.
I know that. He's gonna put that in here, and then I saw this thing and it scared the crap out of me. He's got an egg in his mouth. I don't want him. Let's see. Even though he is a rat snake, he does still bite. He's big. He's got a big... Oh, he's so heavy.
Wow.
Look at him.
Wow, my God.
That is the biggest snake I've ever seen.
All right, why don't y'all move out? Because even though he's not venomous, they still do bite.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness gracious. Can you grab me that top? I just moved it over here. I don't want to relocate it. I want to have rat snakes and beneficial snakes in our area here. Otherwise, we'll get copperheads because they do compete for the same food source. So I'm happy that that snake is here, but we need to make sure this coop is snake proof. It used to be 100% snake proof. Never had any snakes in it. That's the very first time. But what happened, we had a massive ash tree come and crush our chicken coop. And ever since then, there's a few cracks in there that we need to fix. So Nate's gonna work on that. And that way we won't have to worry about snakes getting in there anymore. You see, this area in the garden's been doing really well. This is where a lot of my Long Island cheeses are. These are pink eyes right here. And this is that Emerald Towers basil, y'all. And I've been very happy with this. It's getting tall. I need to take, I've been taking off the tops to a lot of these and using them. You know, so I want them to bush out even more. I haven't done that to this one, so it's a little bit tall. And I have a tomato over here too. And an eggplant and a pepper. But the taste is really good. And I like the fact that it's been getting so tall that it doesn't want to bolt. See, this is a random pepper here, surprisingly growing well beneath this squash. So that's nice. I like that. I don't know what kind of pepper this is, though. What are you? We got some beans coming through here as well. I see here more powdery mildew on the Long Island cheese. That is a first. I find that interesting. But really, it hasn't been bad. It's not like killing the plant off or anything. Oh, we've got a little batch of marmorated squash bugs right here that hatched. We'll just remove those. See how tiny they are? They'll just come off kind of in a cluster too. This tobacco's gotten so tall. I don't know how tall it is, but it's really tall. Look. That's my tallest one this year. And these beans, they're still going. I mean, I've got some that are making it to the very top, you see? Hi, Cootie Go. So that will be fun. I went ahead and did put out a fresh batch of beans around. But I think this is going to be the last year for this bean tower. As much as I love it and I love how it looks, I've kind of got a different idea for what I want to do in this section. Also, it's, you know, the wood is, some parts are starting to come down, you know. It's not going to last forever. You see here, it's one of my shorter tobaccos, but you can get a good look at the flower. Isn't that pretty? This is a poinsettia from 2 years ago. I keep some of my poinsettias and then I just plant them out. I went ahead and planted this one out. It had a bit of a rough go, you see. Tomorrow. And these are the ones that I collected from just last year here. They should just be red. They're pretty, huh? Those cucumbers about had it, and I planted some spaghetti squash and beans. Oh, I still see some, look. See, my seeds right here. Just have to put those back. Because I was going to have the spaghetti squash kind of take over this area too. Hi. This is a, I think this is a ghost pepper. This one right here. I like how this particular row turned out. Like it's all kind of mixed in. I got my pink eyes, the basil, tomato, eggplant, pepper, squash, beans. I like that. Oh, this one. I keep forgetting to show you guys. Look at this. Look at this strawberry. So the flowers are pink. I don't know if that's what it's called, a sweet berry. Saw this one at Lowe's, and I had to get it. I've been wanting to have a strawberry patch right here. And so I thought we'd start with this one and just let it, you know, expand. And I'll probably have the rocks come out further, and we'll have a nice little strawberry patch right here that's fully protected from the deer. And if you see over here, I've got lots of different trees over here. These are more dwarf mulberry bushes here, so I'll kind of let them fill out this section here. And then I have these are little persimmon trees, y'all. There's this massive, beautiful persimmon tree outside a liquor store in Madison, Georgia. And I went ahead and collected some seeds from it. And I planted them, and here we go. I've got my little tiny American persimmon trees growing. This one's done the best for some reason. I don't know why. So it's doing really well. That will go out eventually once we create more light, because right now everything's just full of old growth forest. So we're gonna need to start clearing some stuff out so we can have more light. But I do want to put these American persimmon trees out, and then these two guys are special. This is something that I've wanted for a really long time. These are American chestnut trees. I always loved chestnut trees growing up, and I just thought they were absolutely beautiful. And of course, pretty much almost all of our chestnut trees here in America have gotten killed off by chestnut blight. We used to have massive forests of beautiful chestnut trees, and chestnut trees get huge, you guys. They're like sequoias. I mean, they get massive, and they were a huge food source for people and animals. In fact, I think there was a couple animals that ended up becoming extinct because this was such a huge food source for them. So these particular ones here I got from, I think it's called Tai Tai Nursery. And what they did is they took chestnut trees that were resistant to the blight, and they saved seeds and created more trees from those. So I think this is the second generation from that tree that had created resistance to the blight. We're gonna see how these do, because what I love about chestnut trees, y'all, not only are they extremely prolific, they grow fast, and you get nuts within, I think it's like 5 years, because you know most nut trees take forever to actually produce nuts. Chestnut trees are not that way. So I'm excited about these. We're still trying to figure out the area. I think we're going to be wanting to put them out here in this section. Nate's got to take some trees down. We eventually want to have pigs out there as well. We're probably going to have to work on that this fall, because I want to get these guys out so they can really take off. And if these do really well, I will get more, and I'd like to have chestnut trees throughout our forest along with American persimmons. And I haven't gotten pawpaws yet. That's one that I want to get my hands on. Y'all, while I was talking to you about these chestnut trees, I looked over and I saw something that somehow I've missed, and I'm very excited about. Look at this. A watermelon. This is exciting for me because I've really struggled with melons. They've never done well for me. It's just like they're always stunted and they don't do anything. Now, this particular one is a Georgia rattlesnake that I saved seeds from last year. Last year, I got one watermelon, and it was small, very small, but it was very good. It was so sweet, and I decided, you know, let me try saving seeds from it. Let's see what happens. So I did. I saved seeds. I planted one out this year, and it's doing so good. It's actually growing. I mean, look at it. I have a big cucumber over there too I need to take down. But it's doing good. I'm finally gonna have a watermelon. And I don't know, hopefully it makes more than that, but I just think that's so funny. I didn't notice that. I'm so excited. Oh, that's so great, you guys. This here I planted, this is a lemon balm, I think. I'm gonna kind of let it take over here along with the mulberry bushes, and we'll see how that goes. There's one of those awful leaf-footed bugs. There's 2 of them. See, I've been noticing they coming out all of a sudden. I haven't seen them all summer. Their eggs are actually really pretty, you guys. They're kind of a pearl shape. They usually only lay 3 at a time. Sometimes they look a little bit gold. But I'm gonna have to squish these. Gosh dang it. There's another one up here. Oh, gotcha. No. Where'd you go? It's this close. A little buggered. Yeah, these spaghetti squashes, they're still going, and I'm gonna get more fruit from them, which is great. This is a tomato here that's been doing really good. I've already gotten seeds from this one. I'm just kind of weaving it along, just letting it go. Y'all having a stare down? All right, y'all. I hope you are all doing well. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Got a little bit crazy, wasn't anticipating that. But that's okay, that's life, isn't it? It's real life here. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.